my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Andy, sometimes Mouse, and I talk about books and book-related things, and today I am giving you the final video for my 2025 book blanket. I thought about putting it in the floor and sitting in the floor so you could look at it, and that was a really cute idea, but at this point in my pregnancy, I will not be doing that, as no one is home to help me get up off the floor. So I will not be doing that. So, let's go ahead and get like the basics out of the way about this. This is the 4th year of me doing book blankets. I think that this 5th year that I'm currently working on might become the last year that I do a book blanket. I might do something else, but just as a heads up, this is the 4th year of book blankets. I will have, this video is in the book blanket playlist. I will have that playlist mentioned in a card somewhere, so you'll be able to see all of the other videos and stuff regarding the book blankets linked. I would highly recommend watching the intro video, the very first video for 2025. So I will have had the video where I talk about my 2025 book blanket before I fully started it, and then the one where I my mid-year update for the book blanket. I would recommend watching those videos before this one if you haven't seen me talk about my book blankets or you don't know anything about this specific book blanket. In those videos I talk about supplies and what crochet hooks I use and that kind of thing, as well as the pattern that I use, which I will link that down below, but that information is all there. I don't want to repeat myself, so I am not going to. I did for the monthly part of this, so you'll see that in the I will put a photo here of the book blanket in its totality so we can look at it while I talk. For the monthly parts, let's say like January, February, etc., I did kind of take the patterns. They have a graph that you can use in the pattern, and I took that and then opened up Excel and sort of made my own graph so that I could do month over month, and sorted that out. They are like 3 different versions of the lettering patterns, and then I just repeated them. By the time I got close to the end, I was really making up my own patterns as I went, because some things were repeating too much, or I needed a book with, or I needed a panel with less books or a panel with more books, and so this was just kind of how I finagled it all to work out on its own. Let's talk about just the supplies and the cost, the total cost of everything. The total cost of the yarn that I used was about $100, so it was not as expensive as past book blankets or as expensive as I expected it to be. Largely that's because I was buying my yarn from the UK, and that yarn is cheaper. I also was using DK yarn, and so I think that might have something to do with it too. I don't know. This is not totally calculating once we had the tariffs added on and the shipping costs, because it was really hard for me to calculate that because I would make orders for other projects from the same shop, and so like subtracting all that was a whole thing, and I was like, I'm not gonna do all of that. So my estimate is about $100 to $120 for the entire project. And we'll talk about how much time and how many rows and stuff this whole project is, but let's continue talking about how many materials I used. I actually only made like 2 orders for this book blanket, if you don't include when I ran out of white yarn and then had to order white yarn for a different project and just ended up using that white yarn. So I ordered 2 of the olivine yarn, 4 of the fluorite yarn, and I will put here what those yarns look like and like what genre they were related to, because I should still, hopefully I still have that graphic. And I will put it here so that we can see. 4 of the fluorite, 2 of the powder blue, 2 of the robin egg, 2 dark sage, 3 of the candy floss pink, which was fantasy, so that just made sense, 2 of sugar plum, and 7 of the white. I'm actually reusing the olivine in my book blanket for this current year, for 2026. The total rows of everything, including the borders, the border stitches that I did, was 1,887 rows. I've done less and I've done more, so you know, it could be worse. I'm not counting rows when it comes to 2026's blanket, so it's going to be a bit of an interesting change in calculation here. The amount of time that it took was 1 hour per panel. I had 5 panels per row per month for the most part, except for January, which took me about 60 hours in total. It took me an hour or 2 to sew things together, and then 2 hours total for the border. So between 64 and 66 hours, I think, if my math is right, which, again, I've done worse. I've done worse. I've had a worse time. So the very first ever book blanket I did was a fucking nightmare. And then sewing this guy behind me, horrendous. I wouldn't wish it on my enemy. I would wish it on my enemy. I don't know. The total genre lineup, which I do talk about in my end of the year book wrap up, but I'm just going to mention it here. 28 of the books that you see are sci-fi, 119 of them were fantasy, 20 of them were nonfiction, 36 of them were romance, 17 of them were historical, 25 of them were, no, 25 of them, sorry, were thriller, 69 of them were horror, 5 of them were classics, and 11 were contemporary. And if you don't know, I consider historical, classics, and contemporary as a sort of separate genre. They all just fall under other, because I didn't want that many types of yarn. Like, I didn't want to carry that many types of yarn. If I'm being honest. Okay? Give me a break. I'm so sorry if you can hear. There's so much stuff happening outside, and part of my window is open because it's the only way to get the heat out of my office. So I'm so sorry if you can hear those noises. I've worked really hard to make that better, but here we are. So, yeah. Hopefully at this point you've seen the reel or the video or the clip or whatever I took of the book blanket in its totality. She's very big, and I've been asked if I want to hang it, and part of me wants to say yes, I want to hang it in my hallway, because my hallway, I have very high ceilings. They are about 11 feet tall. No, sorry, they are about 12 feet tall. So if you've ever noticed that I just put things on walls constantly, it's because my ceilings are obscenely high. But the issue with that is that I'm not allowed to get on a ladder in my current state. So I would have to have my husband get on the ladder with the drill and hang it. And I'm Bob the Builder in my house, so I don't know. I think it's just gonna sit here for a while, and then when I am no longer pregnant, I might hang it. I also, alternatively, don't think I have any more curtain rods. I think I used them all for this thing. I might have 1 or 2 more somewhere that would work, but I don't even know if I have hooks for it to get on anymore. I don't know. I don't know what I have. Speaking of, I forgot to mention the length and width of this. It is 46 inches wide and it is 7 foot long, so which is 84 inches, give or take, long. Did I have my measuring tape? No. I couldn't find my measuring tape, so I am basing that off of the mid-year update, so it might be a couple of inches off, but it's not gonna be like a whole foot off, so I'm not that worried about it. So yeah, that is the basics of the book blanket. My final thoughts on this project specifically, like, would I do this again? Do I enjoy it, etc.? First off, this is not the first time I've done this pattern. I actually did this pattern for funsies with scrap yarn, and I did it wrong. I didn't do mosaic crochet until the very end because I had no idea what mosaic crochet was. I did it with scrap yarn quite a while ago, and I really liked that project. I thought it was a lot of fun. Now, is it a much smaller blanket? Yes. Yes, it is. Would I do this pattern again, like if somebody asked me to? No. Maybe if my sister-in-law wanted one. Maybe if my sister-in-law wanted one. And that's it. I would only do it for Ashley. Okay? So nobody else asked me. It was really good until the very end. Like, by the time I got to the end, I was just very over it. I was tired of trying to make things fit. And, like, it was a bit of a struggle because I was reading so much in November and December that it was really hard to plan the book blanket effectively. I couldn't just, like, add on. It's not like I can just add on a book and it's fine. And so that was making things really difficult. And I didn't love that. It put me in a box. I didn't like that. And then I remembered I had to do the border. I hate doing a border. I hate doing a border. I hate doing a border on blankets. I will do the border on blankets, but I don't enjoy it. I find it insufferable, but I'll do it. And then also, I forgot to order or plan or think about the border. And so I think there's like 4 or 5 different kinds of brown yarn that I used. I almost completely ran out of brown yarn on the like very last stitches. The border was gonna be bigger, actually, but I was gonna run out of yarn. So I was like, no, we're done. We're done here. This is good, this is perfect, this works. Who's gonna know? Who's gonna know? Play that TikTok sound. They're never gonna know. Who's gonna know? My other thought was, you know, don't order yarn from another country if you are at risk for your president to put tariffs in place and make you not able to order yarn. So yeah, that would be my only other thought. Did I still order yarn from the same place for 2026? Yes, but I also made sure that I got yarn that I could very easily replace for the most part in the United States. There's just a couple of skeins that I would have difficulty replacing, but it's fine. It'll work out. It'll be fine. But that's it. That's the video. That's my wrap up of my book blanket. If you have any questions about my book blanket or any book blanket, let me know. I think I've said this before. I think I said it at the beginning. I do think I invented this. I keep seeing other people's book blankets. I've seen some really, really cool ones. And I'm like, they're like, yeah, I just had this idea. Maybe you did. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like pregnant and grumpy. I don't know. But I'm like, they're not doing it the same way I was. I've seen some people do like granny squares that look like the colors of a, like they're based on the colors of a cover of a book, which I think is really cool. Couldn't be me, but I think it's really cool. I've seen some really, really cool ways of doing book blankets. I just go for simple because doing something like this for a year is exhausting. So when you read as much as I do, if you didn't read as much as I do, I think it would be easier. Probably. I don't know. I don't know. Have you made a book blanket? Do you want to make a book blanket? Are you thinking about it? And let me know in the comments down below. I think it's really fun when people who know me in real life have people who don't know me in real life sending them my videos to talk about how they think they want to make a book blanket. I think that's really fun. So if you've done that, hi. It's me. I think that's really fun and amusing. So that's cute. But that's it. That's the video. Normally at the end of the video, I talk about when I post videos. Actually, first I say don't forget to like and subscribe and share if you enjoyed this video, and I stand by that, so don't forget to do that. But normally I talk about when I would post videos. However, things are about to get real tricky around here because I'm going to go on maternity leave. I do have a video that I'm going to release at the end of March that will talk about my maternity leave, but I don't know what date this video is going up, and therefore I think it's going up end of January. But I don't know, and because I don't know, I therefore also do not know when, if I'd like to tell you if I have vlogs coming out every single week, or if I have videos coming every single week. I don't know. The normal schedule pre-maternity leave is I post videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, except for the first full week of the month. But depending on when this goes out, I might not. So, disclaimer also, I will not be posting vlogs in March. So all of my 2026 vlogs are not going to come out until March. So just a quick note on that, some housekeeping if you needed that information. But that's going to be it. I'm going to end the video here. I'm just rambling at this point. So I will talk to you guys later. If you enjoyed this video, I said that already. God! Have you ever thought that pregnancy brain wasn't real? Here's your proof. I'm going to go. Don't forget to take your meds, drink your water, and do something today to take care of yourselves. Okay, thanks, bye.